Now on CoastTV News.
It's a quiet and milder start to the day, but we're watching a system to the west, and this promises rain and wind on Wednesday, making it a first alert day at that time. I'll talk about the impacts and timing coming up.
Marijuana momentum in Georgetown. We have what is being promoted by Delaware's first ever marijuana commissioner.
Reaction to absentee voting, what Delaware Republicans and Democrat leaders are saying after the big decision by the state Supreme Court.
Dredging is done. The early feedback from fishermen, and what is next for the Army Corps of Engineers.
This is CoastTV News Today.
It is Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Paige Marley. Thanks for being up with us during our 5 o'clock hour.
We're going to start right here. The very big question of the day. Did you miss me, Paige?
I knew it was coming. Of course we missed you. Did you miss us?
I actually watched you Friday because my brother had the app on his smart TV in State College, so I did get to see you guys.
I love that. You know, I was thinking, too, that because you're coming from north, it was probably a little colder up there. Are you, like, pleasantly surprised?
Friday was fantastic up there. It was in the upper 50s. It was warm. It was sunny.
Nice.
And I hear it wasn't quite like that down here on Friday.
Well, it is going to be now. So it's like you just kind of get the best of both worlds. You got the 50s up there. I think you're going to get the 50s today, but that's just from me looking over Bob's shoulder.
Okay.
So let's bring in Bob right now. First alert meteorologist Bob. Bob, am I on track? 50s?
You are on track, Paige. Welcome back, Matt, from your excursion, and good morning, Delmarva. We are looking at 50s already this morning. Unbelievably mild out the door. Beautiful temperatures, 40s and low 50s, 51 in Millsboro and Lewis, 50 in Milton, 48 in Delmar and Salisbury, 47 in Seaford, 48 in Bethany Beach. Winds are coming in out of the south and west. That is the warm direction, and that will continue to warm us up today. We're looking at some clouds out there right now. Nothing in the way of precipitation. Some of that is offshore right now. We actually have a warm front lifting to the north, and that will usher in more warmer air. And then there's a bigger system across the plains that promises, well, more rain and wind for tomorrow. But as we go through the morning, we'll be in and out of the clouds, and those temperatures skyrocket, mid-50s by 9, mid-60s by noon, with a mix of sun and clouds, and we're well into the 60s inland, a little cooler along the coast. Then we'll see showers building in as we go into the evening hours. So much of the day is dry. I think after about 4 o'clock, that's a chance of rain, and then more intense rain and wind for Wednesday with the first alert weather day. I'll have the impacts on that coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Bob. We have an update on a story we have been covering for you, recreational marijuana, and how our communities plan to deal with the option of allowing weed-based businesses. Last night, Georgetown Council heard from Robert Koop, Delaware's first marijuana commissioner.
He spoke a lot about how recreational marijuana businesses would impact you in towns like Georgetown.
Koop's presentation included how business licenses could be approved, as well as the different economic opportunities for both the state as a whole and for local towns like Georgetown.
Now, as for when those licenses for marijuana business licenses could be distributed, the Marijuana Commissioner website says the next steps are for the commissioner to adopt rules for distributing those licenses by this coming July.
Also, we want to reiterate that the town council has not made any decisions on whether to allow or to ban the sale of pot.
Now, Robert Koop has served the state for more than 35 years. As the state's first marijuana commissioner, his job is to enforce the Delaware Marijuana Control Act and create rules for state's marijuana industry. Past roles being the commissioner for Delaware's prisons. He also was the secretary of Delaware Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Koop was also with Delaware State Police and was the chief of staff at the Department of Justice.
Koop's office is taking a step to create rules for the recreational marijuana industry. You can now share your feedback on the proposed rules for businesses that will sell it. This move comes after the legalization of recreational marijuana for people 21 and older last year. People have until March 29th to review the draft regulations and weigh in on those regulations online.
Now we have reaction after Delaware Superior Court struck down the state's early voting and permanent absentee voting system. A Delaware Superior Court agreed with a lawsuit claiming the laws violated the state constitution, which says elections must be on a specific day. The lawsuit was filed by the chair of the Delaware Republican Party and the Public Interest Legal Foundation. And it's not the only rule against newer Delaware voting laws. In 2022, the state Supreme Court found the universal mail-in voting and same-day registration in the state was also unconstitutional.
State House Republican leaders applauded the decision, but important to note, they say they have no issue with in-person early voting, their main objection was the statute that violated the state constitution. With that argument, they are happy with the court decision, saying, quote, "We applaud the court for validating the arguments we have made 5 years ago." Republican leaders say they will introduce an amendment to implement early voting in line with the law.
And Delaware Democrats, they claim this decision will negatively impact the voters, especially those who have issues getting to the polls. Delaware's Democratic leadership specifically referencing low-income voters, single parents, those with disabilities. Democrat Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester saying, quote, "Free, fair, and more accessible elections make a stronger democracy. I will stop at nothing to protect it." Now, it's worth adding that the ACLU is urging for an appeal and a stay of the current rule so early voting can happen in the upcoming elections.
A Hurlock man was arrested on felony gun charges in Laurel on Sunday. Delaware State Police 38-year-old Harold Quayles was pulled over for an expired tag on the Ford 500 he was driving. Troopers say they sniffed out marijuana in the car and found it along with an open beer in the center console. Police also found a handgun with a scratched-out serial number in the driver's waistband. He's now in jail on more than $12,000 cash bond.
The city of Rehoboth Beach considering more fee increases and more next week. Now, if you get a parking ticket, commissioners are considering shortening your time to appeal from 30 days to just 7 days. They also may raise property tax rates and wastewater rates. They say they need more money, claiming the city is short by nearly $4 million for their planned budget of $37 million for next year.
You may have noticed in Lewis, the equipment is gone. Boaters are on the go at the canal. Dredging finally complete after a month-long delay. The project moved about 40,000 cubic yards of sediment for the price of $1.8 million. That's according to the Army Corps of Engineers. Now, one person Coast TV News spoke with says the difference is already noticeable.
If you got in too close, you'd catch up on a mud bar that was piled up there, and sometimes it would make you stop. So you had to make it a lot wider. And yesterday, it was just nice and smooth and easy as it can be.
And now that the project is done, Lewis is looking to do more dredging. Steve Roche with the Army Corps of Engineers has confirmed that plans are underway for a separate contract focused on east and south of the Freeman Highway, which is right where this project left off.
Now, while we're speaking of these projects, the Indian River currently in the process of being dredged. Anticipated benefits including protection against flooding and erosion, enhanced wildlife habitats, and increased recreational opportunities. Dredge It, the company working on the project, says that work will be complete by 2025.
It is primary day in Michigan and another test for Nikki Haley, who is trying to hang on the Republican side despite trailing Donald Trump in the polls.
Now, for Democrats, the battleground state could be a barometer for President Biden, who faces severe criticism with handling for his Israel-Hamas war. NBC's Bree Jackson shows us a look at the presidential race as other states' primaries are underway.
Thank you so much. It's great to see everybody.
It's primary day in Michigan. Nikki Haley vowing to stay in the fight despite coming off her primary loss in South Carolina to former President Trump.
Americans want a voice, and we're giving them that voice. And as long as Americans want me to be that voice, I will continue to fight for them.
The stakes are also high for President Biden. He's facing pushback on the ballot over his handling of the Israel-Hamas war.
I think there will be a sizable number of votes for uncommitted. I think that it is every person's right to make their statement about what's important to them.
During an appearance on the Late Night Show with Seth Meyers, President Biden says he believes there is a path forward in the war with difficulty.
The hostages being held must be released. Ramadan's coming up, and there's been an agreement by the Israelis that they would not engage in activities during Ramadan as well.
The president facing concerns overseas and here at home. President Biden planning to visit the southern border this week on the same day that former President Trump will also be in Texas delivering remarks.
I've been planning to go Thursday. What I didn't know is my good friend apparently is going.
The dueling trip comes as lawmakers on Capitol Hill battle over a bipartisan border security agreement. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Well, we're just getting started this hour of Coast TV News Today.
And a page coming up, more spirits at more events. We'll tell you about the new regulations Berlin recently approved that increases alcohol options.
Also ahead, pushing back on poverty in the first state. We're telling you about an organization that aims to help families in need.
And Dagsboro vacancies. Which governing boards? The town says they are lacking staff. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care and women's health services to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
Today at 4 on Coast Life, join us for a discussion on eating disorders among teens as we shine a light on National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. Plus, learn how you can support Cape Henlopen students. Coast Life today at 4 on Coast TV.
It's now or never.
2 dead bodies in the name of free speech.
Nobody needs to die today.
This girl was targeted.
You come and see it by my daughter!
When you're undercover, one mistake and it's all over.
Can I go home now? That's not how this works.
Law & Order Thursday on NBC and Peacock.
Cheers to 50 years of the Players. Here's to the jaw-dropping Eagles, 60-foot birdies,
Better than most.
and that one pesky seagull. Here's to making an entrance, making a statement,
it's not a shot you practice,
and making a splash. All at the PGA Tour's gold standard, the Players Championship on NBC and Peacock.
Hey moms, you know those unforgettable face palms? Those moments that leave us both laughing and sighing. They're not just mishaps, there are shared stories. Share your unique mom moments with us. Go to coastlife.com/mom.
It is 5:12 on this cool and breezy Tuesday morning. Looking at mostly cloudy skies. Bay Health Cam in Dover, 44 right now. Much warmer than it has been as we are looking at some mid to high level clouds out there right now. Nothing in the way of any kind of storminess as we have a trough over us. There's actually a warm front in here too, and that will continue to lift to the north and usher in some warmer air today. We're in the 40s and 50s already, so we're getting a head start on a pretty mild day on the way. So the kiddos can wear the light layers, and they'll be peeling off layers throughout the day. Cool and breezy off to school, 49, and then heading home, maybe opening the windows on the school bus, 64, mild and breezy with partly to mostly cloudy skies.
I have an update for you if your children are in the Indian River School District. Don't forget, tomorrow all schools will open 2 hours late. This is Wednesday, February 28th, and the delay is for the staff to participate in professional learning activities. The district says there will be no morning preschool. Happening now, Dagsboro is accepting applications for open positions on the town's Board of Adjustment. Some qualifications for this volunteer position include that you have to live in town and have knowledge of the problems of urban and rural development. Applications must be completed at Town Hall no later than March 18th at 4:30 p.m.
The Environmental Protection Agency is considering slowing down requirements for automakers to sell more electric vehicles, which could dial back plans to move away from gas-powered vehicles. However, industry insiders say there are still a few factors holding back sales. Those include higher prices, the lack of public charging stations, and general confusion about the substantial tax credits available for buyers. The Audius Moon lander is expected to stop communicating with Earth today. Now, Initiative Machines says it intends to collect data until the lander's solar panels were no longer exposed to light. They believe that will happen sometime happening today. That is a lot earlier than expected. It's also not clear yet how this will affect the number of images and information that will be sent to Earth. Well, still coming up this morning, pushing back on poverty. We're telling you how one organization is helping those in need find and afford housing in the first state.
It is 51 degrees right now in Salisbury. Dry conditions on our Spicer Brothers camera, and we are looking at a mild day ahead. A few showers later today, but more significant wind and rain for Wednesday with the first alert day at that time. I'll break down the impacts next on Futurecast. That's coming up in 2 minutes.
Give it up for our coaches! For the first time, we have more than one country, Coach.
I'm just going to beat them anyways.
The Voice new tonight on NBC and Peacock.
90.
Lingerie.
Join Jimmy Fallon and Emmy-winning host Keke Palmer for a hot new season.
Spain?
Yes, thank you.
Password, March 12th on NBC and Peacock.
Solo Cup Saturday night with me, Jared, 7 to 9 every Saturday on Coast Country, 103.9 and 106.3. Sponsored by Midshore Recyclers Incorporated.
Tamron Hall knows what's hot.
And we're finding out what's hot right now.
And on the next Tamron Hall.
Is it time to put an end to the busy brag? We talk to the people who say being busy is not a badge of honor and it's messing with our happiness. Plus, what's behind the growing movement of people willingly waking up before the crack of dawn? The surprising thing people are learning by waking up at 5 a.m. on the next Tamron Hall.
Tuesday at 3 on Coast TV.
Take the DSN app with you wherever you go and never miss a game from your favorite local team. Whether you're on the road, stuck at the office, or out with friends and family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live, so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV, download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
We are approaching 5:17 on this Tuesday morning, and in the middle of your screen is a live look at Delaware state capital, Dover. Bob, I have to say, I am liking these milder temperatures that you're going to tell me about.
Isn't this so much better than scraping frost and warming up the car and going through all that routine? Yeah, it's much nicer. We're looking at temperatures beginning in the 40s and 50s, and it's about to get much milder. Make sure you scan the QR code right there. That will get you to the Coast TV weather app. We've got a first alert weather day for tomorrow, so you need that app to track those storms along with us as we go into Wednesday. But here's our 5-day temperature trend. Average high now is 50. We're well above that today, around 66 degrees. Gorgeous conditions. But with that, we'll see some warmth, and we're actually going to add some humidity as well. Here's Wednesday up to 68, and then we crater on Thursday. Just a reminder that it is still winter. 44 on Thursday, 51 Friday, but then we bounce back into the upper 50s by this weekend. So it's a battle of the seasons. It's going to be cold for a few days and then warm for a few days and then back to cold. It's just that time of year. We're looking at 40s and low 50s out the door this morning, so a light jacket is really all you need, and we're seeing a southwest breeze around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and we're looking at what's called mostly cloudy skies, and we're seeing a few showers offshore right now. We actually have a warm front, tough to see here. It's indicated as a trough, but we're seeing a warmer flow coming in out of the southwest, so we'll warm up even more. Lots of clouds back to the west, low pressure developing across the Midwest. They could see severe weather from Missouri up into Illinois and the Midwest today. Maybe tornadoes for them, but for us, just gusty winds and rain with that front tomorrow. So as we go through the morning, we're quickly warming into the mid-50s by 9. By noon, we're looking at stronger winds out of the southwest and temperatures into the mid-60s. So 66 should be our landing spot around 2:30 in Millsboro, and 65 in Seaford. Selbyville 66 as the winds are picking up. Then we start to see showers breaking in, I think sometime after 4 p.m. and those showers will be rolling through the evening hours. We keep it mild and breezy. More showers through the overnight hours. So we'll start to get that muggy component to the atmosphere. And as we go into Wednesday morning, incredibly mild, 50s and 60s, windy conditions, and we're looking at the showers that will continue to move through the area. We get a little break in the middle of the day, but then here comes the main event tomorrow evening, the cold front, the sharp cold front with heavy rain and maybe some rumbles of thunder as well, and that moves through, and then the winds start to howl out of the northwest. I think the rain will start to move offshore by Wednesday evening, but we're looking at very strong winds in excess of 30 miles per hour. By Wednesday morning, in excess of 40 miles per hour in and still gusty behind that front. So make sure those outdoor items are secured. And we could see maybe about a half to about an inch of rain from this system. Here's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. 60s the next couple of days. There's the first alert for tomorrow. 44 Thursday, 51 Friday, and then milder into the weekend. Still some showers. Our umbrella winner today is Gabby Martinetti from Eden. Congratulations, Gabby, on your brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Bob, and don't forget, Coast TV has a new Facebook page for all the latest in news, exclusive content, and interactive discussions. Visit and follow our new page. You can do that by going to facebook.com/CoastTVNBC or scan the QR code on your screen and stay connected with us.
Right now, First State Community Action Agency is fighting poverty in Delaware. Our presentation this week highlighted how the organization has been working with its partners in the community. The agency has 21 state and federally funded programs like housing counseling, home improvements, and emergency shelters. Congresswoman Lisa Blunt-Rochester spoke at the event about legislation to fund some of these programs, and the executive director, Bernice Edwards, says this is a year-round, sometimes lifelong issue to address.
Being able to partner with a company like First State Community Action that will go to bat for you to help you to secure the funds to get down payment, closing cost assistance can make all the difference. And in our family, we are walking testimonies of that.
Other programs offer after-school programs, opioid outreach, and workforce development like culinary arts. And we have a full list of those programs on CoastTV.com.
Coming up next on Coast TV News today, Berlin is allowing you to have hard liquor at more of its town events. We're telling you about the regulations put in place to keep everyone safe. We'll be right back.
Middays with me, April Brilliant. It's a feel-good show on your radio.
April is the easiest way to get through your workday.
She can play your favorite song.
She can help you find your furry friend.
The easiest way to get through your workday is with April.
She really makes you feel special.
Hey friends, hang out with me weekdays here on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3 each day from 10 to 3.
NBC Nightly News, weeknights at 6:30 on Coast TV. Take your favorite radio station with you wherever you go. Download free today. For every season, every weather moment, stay ahead with the Coast TV First Alert Weather Phone. Just call 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Baird, Mandalas, Brockstead, and Federico.
Delmarva's Classic Rock. Big 107.7. On Real, it's hard to keep your cool.
Where am I going?
When Pat makes your dreams come true.
Aruba, Costa Rica.
2 tickets to paradise.
Paradise is Maui.
Tuesday at 7 on Coast TV.
The Jeopardy! Tournament of Champions is heating up.
Once again, the game is close.
And these champs keep things spicy.
How big do you want to risk here?
As Salt and Pepper would say, let's push it.
Tuesday at 7:30 on Coast TV.
We'll go dancing, dancing, dancing with your shadows. Dancing with your shadows.
That's 'cause I used to be young. Dance, dance the night away.
1025 WBOC.
Berlin has made a change to the liquor laws governing events held in the community. You'll now be able to walk around with mixed drinks in hand in the same way you already could with beer or wine. This includes events like the Small Town Throwdown, the Fiddlers Convention, or Oktoberfest. But even with this new rule, officials have built in some protections.
What we've worked out, what I've worked with Cody at Forgotten 50 to devise, is a way to include those drinks pre-mixed, so there's no one pouring shots or mixing extremely strong drinks at the event.
Now, this was a proposal first brought to the council by the Berlin Chamber of Commerce. Town Council approved that change by a vote of 4-1.
This morning, the Maryland State Fire Marshal will continue the effort to determine what caused these tractor trailers you see here to catch on fire in Easton Friday afternoon on Air Park Drive. You can see the 3 hoods of the trucks destroyed from the flames. Fire Marshal says that damage is estimated at $150,000. No one was hurt from the fire.
In 2023, Maryland saw a spike in wildfires. Those fires burned up more than double the 10-year average in terms of acres. That's according to the Maryland Forest Service. Last year, nearly 200 wildfires scorched over 4,000 acres across the state. February 2023 marked the state's worst month for wildfires in terms of acreage, largely due to a single fire in Dorchester County that was estimated to have burned over 2,000 acres of marshland. Despite the increase, the Department of Natural Resources says no one was hurt by wildfires, and that was no significant private property damage that was reported to the Maryland Forest Service.
We bring back First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey. And Bob, you are tracking a breezy day on our beaches today.
Yeah, we'll be breezy. The waves picking up in height, Matt, and we're looking at a small craft advisory kicking in at around 10 a.m. this morning. Inland areas will be in the mid-60s. I don't think it's going to be as warm along the beaches, 50s to close to 60, Fenwick Island and Ocean City. You could be seeing showers probably after about 4 p.m. Farther north, Lewis and Rehoboth Beach are looking at temperatures in the 40s and 50s to begin with. Then we see clouds later on, and you could be in the lower 60s as we go later in the day. And I think we will see some showers building in after about 4 o'clock. Waves around 2 to 4 feet, and the winds really pick up tonight, and the rains increase on into Wednesday as it is a First Alert weather day. I'll have more on that and the impacts coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Bob. Also coming up on CoastTV News today, Boeing Safety Panel will tell you what the FAA and airline officials are recommending about safety concerns at Boeing.
Also, Supreme Court on social media will tell you about the laws regarding when companies can and cannot ban users.
And Delaware's marijuana commissioner gave a presentation in Georgetown on the newly legalized drug. We're telling you what you need to know about what could be coming to the industry. CoastTV News today. We'll be right back.
Delmarva Sports Network is on the lookout for a social media promotions producer. Manage our digital scene and craft content that captures the spirit of local sports. Successful candidates have at least 5 years of experience and a passion for sports to produce thrilling videos that engage and inspire. Join our team and make a difference in how sports stories are told. Apply today at DraperMediaJobs.com. Draper Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Honesty, integrity, bravery. Here is what we can face together.
Incoming.
Let's go.
I've had this policy of not mixing my work and romantic life until now.
I have no doubts you will make a great leader.
It's like you said, Chief. Change is inevitable. I'm no good without the job. You know that.
You've got the team. I've got you.
Chicago Wednesday, new on NBC and Peacock.
Tamron Hall knows what's hot. And we're finding out what's hot right now. And on the next Tamron Hall. Is it time to put an end to the busy brag? We talked to the people who say being busy is not a badge of honor, and it's messing with our happiness. Plus, what's behind the growing movement of people willingly waking up before the crack of dawn? The surprising thing people are learning by waking up at 5 a.m. on the next Tamron Hall.
Tuesday at 3 on Coast TV.
Take the DSN app with you wherever you go and never miss a game from your favorite local team. Whether you're on the road, stuck at the office, or out with friends and family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live, so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV, download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group. This is Coast TV News Today.
February 27th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Penson. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning. Welcome back, Matt. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
That.
Of course. I'm Paige Marley.
I didn't even have to ask for that time.
I know.
That was great.
I didn't put it in the script to kind of surprise you with it.
I like surprises.
I know you do.
We're approaching 5:30 now as we make our way on this Tuesday morning.
Yes, and a very nice Tuesday morning, especially like I was saying earlier, just coming back, you might think it's going to be cold because that's what we're used to.
Yeah.
But it's 50s.
It was very mild on the way into work this morning, surprisingly.
Yeah, definitely. So let's bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey to see how the rest of the week's going, because Bob, not every day can be as great as today.
That's true. And we're not scraping ice this morning, so that's certainly a very good thing as we're looking at temperatures beginning in the 40s and 50s. So what a head start to the day temperature-wise. 49 Bethany Beach, 51 in Millsboro, 48 in Salisbury right now, and 50 in the Milton area. And we're seeing light winds out of the southwest. They'll be picking up throughout the day, as right now we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, some showers offshore. And it's not on our map, but we actually have a warm front that is lifting through right now. A few more clouds back to the west, so we'll increase the clouds during the day, and then there's a bigger system back to the west that will affect us with more rain and wind as we go into tomorrow. Here is Futurecast this morning, 40s and eventually 50s. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds, and we're into the mid-60s by noon, and then look at this, 67 in Millsboro later on, Delmar 65, and then showers building in as we go into the evening hours. Here's your checklist for today. Umbrella and raincoat necessary, not for this morning, but for later today. So if you are on the road for a while, make sure you pack those, a light jacket as well. Don't need the ice scraper. Make sure you have a warm beverage. That's always important, and have the sunglasses as well.
All right, thank you, Bob. More on marijuana in Georgetown, and Delaware's first marijuana commissioner at the center of the latest step in dealing with recreational weed.
Robert Koop gave a presentation to town council on how marijuana will impact the state as some important dates for the distribution of business licenses draw near. CoastTV's Charles Reinert shows us why he's hoping to speak again, but with other towns.
Taking the stand at the Georgetown Town Council meeting, Marijuana Commissioner Robert Koop says it's been a busy few months since he was appointed to the job.
It is legalized. It is here, and we have to deal with it. And I think since it is legalized, I think the best way to address it is through regulation, through ordinances, and accept that it's here, but manage it.
Koop's job is to regulate the now legalized drugs and distribute licenses to people looking to start marijuana businesses here in the first state. According to Koop, he is hoping to speak with more towns so that they're well educated before making any major decisions on weed in their jurisdictions.
I want to make sure they have as much information as possible, but it's up to them to decide what's best for their town, what's best for their citizens. The state's not trying to influence them in that sense.
Here are some of the major takeaways from his presentation tonight. The Office of the Marijuana Commissioner is estimating the first year's annual revenue from recreational pot would be close to $300 million. $42 million of that would go to the state, thanks to a 15% income tax. Furthermore, the state is looking to give out business licenses via a lottery system, where applicants would be randomly selected. Koop's office has a busy couple of months ahead of them, as the deadline to finalize regulations for licenses is July 11th. And he says he's hoping other towns give him a call.
Wherever the next invitation comes from, that's where I'll be next.
In the meeting tonight, Georgetown Mayor Bill West made it very clear that this presentation was not a public hearing, but he did want to reiterate that the public will have plenty of opportunities to voice their opinions on this in the future. I'm Charles Reinert in Georgetown, CoastTV News.
Koop's office is taking a step to create rules for the recreational marijuana industry, and you can now share your feedback on the proposed rules for businesses that will sell it. This comes after the legalization of recreational marijuana for people 21 and older last year. People have until March 29th to review the draft regulations online and weigh in.
Reaction after Delaware's Superior Court struck down the state's early voting and permanent absentee voting system. A Delaware Superior Court agreed with a lawsuit claiming the laws violated the state constitution, which says elections must be on a specific day. The lawsuit was filed by the chair of the Delaware Republican Party and the Public Interest Legal Foundation. It's not the only rule against newer Delaware voting laws. In 2022, the state Supreme Court found the universal mail-in voting and same-day registration in the state was also unconstitutional.
State House Republican leaders agree with the decision, but important to note, they say they have no issue with in-person early voting. Their main objection was to the statute that violated the state constitution. With that argument, they are happy with the court decision, saying, quote, "We applaud the court for validating the arguments we have made 5 years ago. Republican leaders say they will introduce an amendment to implement early voting in line with the law.
Delaware Democrats, they claim this decision will negatively impact voters, especially those who have issues getting to the polls. Delaware's Democratic leadership specifically referencing low-income voters, single parents, and those with disabilities. Democrat Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester saying, quote, "Free, fair, and more accessible elections make a stronger democracy. I will stop at nothing to protect it," end quote. And it is worth adding that the ACLU is urging for an appeal and a stay of the current rule so early voting can happen in the upcoming elections.
Milford is getting ready for some new electric vehicle charging stations. These stations will be placed at Northeast Front Street. Advocates of the charging stations, they claim it will improve downtown foot traffic and be an option for EV drivers on routes 1 and 113. Stations are being paid for by the DENREC DC Fast Vehicle Charging Station Grant Program. This is through the Volkswagen Mitigation Settlement Fund that was launched in early 2022. A ribbon-cutting event at the new stations scheduled for March 6th at 11 a.m. The U.S. Supreme Court is weighing arguments in a pair of cases that could change how social media companies have been operating for decades. Certain laws in Florida and Texas seek to restrict social media companies from banning or censoring users because of their political views. The eventual ruling could lead to further litigation in lower courts as to whether the laws should be blocked. The laws are currently on hold, with a ruling expected by June.
An independent panel is recommending significant changes at Boeing that centers around safety concerns. The panel is made up of Federal Aviation Administration officials and representatives from airlines, labor unions, and safety units at other aerospace companies. The review panel conducted more than 250 interviews, and they reviewed more than 4,000 pages of documents. The report released found employees did not understand their role in safety and feared retaliation for raising those safety-related concerns.
Still more to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up on CoastTV News today, dough rolling out. We'll tell you which location of the dough roller is set to close and what locations you can still count on.
Also, Delaware State playoff high school brackets for basketball have been released, and the Delmarva Sports Network breaks down the local first-round matchups.
And too much salt, not enough land. We'll tell you what farmers on Delmarva are dealing with that's destroying thousands of acres of farmland. Stay with us on CoastTV News today.
Let the steam rise like the majestic Mount Fuji, unveiling a new ramen restaurant in Salisbury. The Fuji Ramen House is an adventure with each tantalizing bite. Enjoy your experience in a cozy Japanese-themed setting and indulge in mouth-watering appetizers, rice bowls, curry, and of course, our ramen. Handcrafted noodles simmering in a delicious broth with your choice of toppings. Elevate your taste to new heights and savor the umami flavors of authentic ramen at Fuji Ramen House, located behind East Moon.
At Draper Media, we offer more than TV and radio advertising. We reach your customers wherever they are, at the gas pump, in bars and restaurants, driving around Delmarva, in a taxi or rideshare at the beach, on social media, or searching for products and services, checking their email, and listening to podcasts or streaming video. Our plans fit all your business needs. Email Frank Hamilton today.
Stay ahead of our ever-changing coastal climate with the CoastTV First Alert Weather Team. From the early morning to the late evening, our team is always at work to deliver the accurate forecasts you need. Whether bracing for a stormy day or enjoying a peaceful indoor moment, we're here to ensure you're fully prepared for Delmarva's diverse weather patterns. The CoastTV First Alert Weather Team. With us, the weather is more than a forecast. It's a part of life.
Delmarva's Classic Rock, Big 107.7.
5:39 on this, we'll call it mostly cloudy, mild start to our day. Here's our Tidal Health Cam from Salisbury, 48. You can see some of the clouds out there. Roads are dry. That'll be the case this morning as everybody's waking up to temperatures in the 40s and 50s. 47 Del Mar, 51 in Millsboro. Right now, Bethany Beach at 49. We've got a light southwest breeze right now, but that will start to pick up as we go through the day. As we're looking at, we'll call it mostly cloudy skies. Some showers offshore, some thicker clouds back to the west. Those will be moving in throughout the day. Here's your drive cast this morning. I gave it the green light, cool and breezy. I gave it the green light at 4 o'clock and then the yellow light at 5 and 6 because I think we'll see showers developing at that time. You can also get your forecast on the First Alert weather line. Call 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away, sponsored by Baird, Mendalis, Brockstead, and Federico.
Bob, farmers on Delmarva are dealing with a unique but devastating problem. Thousands of acres of land being lost, and this is due to saltwater intrusion. It's a growing problem for Delmarva farmers at sea level rises, and thousands of acres of farmland, they're now being lost as the ground becomes too salty and as invasive salt marsh plants spread inland. This massive loss of land is taking a toll on farmers right here along the coast.
It is an economic hardship. And, you know, anytime you take productive ground, and this ground here is extremely productive, you take it out of the equation, you're losing.
Planting native salt marsh species that can be in the end act as a barrier to protect the rest of the farmland from more saltwater intrusion could be one solution to this ever-growing problem.
Yeah, this does bring us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what is your view on saltwater intrusion?
All right, let's take a look. 65% of you say it needs immediate action. 23% of you say climate change sign, and then 12% of you, it's a threat to agriculture. A couple options there for you if you want to give your opinion. If you haven't voted yet, you still can. Head to coasttv.com or our mobile app. As we move on today, the Friends of Cape Henlopen State Park are gearing up for their next Trails Day event. This event is set for Saturday, March 2nd. Volunteers are invited to gather at the Herring Point parking lot. By 8:45, be there by then for a beach and road cleanup effort. This Trails Day comes with a bit of a challenge to surpass last month's record by collecting more than 150 pounds of trash.
A way to strengthen dunes along our coast, beach grass planting in Fenwick Island and the Delaware Seashore State Park taking place on March 16th. This will be from 9 a.m. to noon. And Denmark says anyone can volunteer in assisting to help plant beach grass.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, sports fans. The Delaware boys and girls basketball state tournaments kick off tonight. And as things open up, it's time to break down a first-round matchup that we'll have live on DSN, Cape Henlopen versus Sussex Central. The Vikings will be the road squad. They come in as the 21st seed out of 24 teams in the tournament. Steve Ray's guys ended the season on a roll, winning 4 of their final 5 games to clinch their spot. Freshman guard Jamison Tingle earned all-conference first-team honors, leading the team in scoring despite missing 4 games this season due to injury. Down low, senior Jack Shell is second in scoring and leads the team in rebounding as well. The Golden Knights hit their stride in the middle of the season when they rattled off 7 straight victories. 2 members of the all-conference second team lead Sussex Central in junior David Maker and senior Clarence McBride Allen. These guys manufacture things offensively for the Golden Knights, and they'll have to overcome some recent history despite being the home team, with Cape Henlopen winning each regular season matchup this year. Tonight's game begins at 7 p.m. and our coverage starts at 6:55. We'll have updates on how things unfold across the entire bracket this week on DSN. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everyone.
Some entertainment news now. A music icon reaches yet another #1 hit that seemed unlikely at first. And with your movie news, here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Beyonce, straight ahead, honey. Beyonce's country hit is #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Texas Hold'em is her 9th song to hold that status. Last week, it reached #1 on Billboard's Hot Country Songs survey, making Beyonce the first black woman ever to top that chart.
There's no army of this earth that's going to stop those wagons coming, little as they're wanted.
Here's a look at the first trailer for Kevin Costner's latest Western epic, Horizon: An American Saga. The director, co-writer, and star leads an all-star cast in the sprawling tale that spans the 4 years of the U.S. Civil War. It's a planned 4-film series, with parts 1 and 2 due in theaters June 28th and August 16th. I'm just It appears he's Kenough for the Oscars. Variety and The Rap Report, Ryan Gosling will perform I'm Just Ken at the Academy Awards next month. It's one of 2 Barbie tunes up for Best Original Song, along with Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For? Feeling the Kenergy in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
It is a mild start to our day, 52 in Salisbury and our Spicer Brothers Cam. It's dry. It will be a mild and breezy day today. Then increasing rain and wind into tonight and Wednesday. It's a first alert day tomorrow. I'll break down the impacts on Futurecast coming up next.
Today at 4 on Coast Life, join us for a discussion on eating disorders among teens as we shine a light on National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. Plus, learn how you can support Cape Henlopen students. Coast Life today at 4 on Coast TV.
Welcome to the ride home on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. First rule of the ride home, we definitely talk about the ride home. In fact, tell all your friends. Second rule of the ride home, we have fun. Top 10 Tuesday, Would You Rather Wednesday, and every day you pick the songs on the high five. And the third rule of the ride home, we don't take ourselves too seriously. You've got enough to stress about. So let me handle the ride home, weekdays from 3 to 7 on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3.
You can buy it of me, you can sing in your teeth. I got my eye on you, I got my eye on you. I go straight back to blackout. The devil you know, devil you don't. Ice cold, mechanical, artificial.
93.5, The Beach.
Tamron Hall knows what's hot. And we're finding out what's hot right now. And on the next Tamron Hall. Is it time to put an end to the busy brag? We talk to the people who say being busy is not a badge of honor and it's messing with our happiness. Plus, what's behind the growing movement of people willingly waking up before the crack of dawn? The surprising thing people are learning by waking up at 5 a.m. on the next Tamron Hall.
Tuesday at 3 on Coast TV.
Stay ahead of our ever-changing coastal climate with the Coast TV First Alert Weather Team. Our team is always at work to deliver the accurate forecasts you need. With us, the weather is more than a forecast. It's a part of life.
It's now 5:46 on your very lovely Tuesday morning. Let's take a live look right now at Salisbury. I was right, Bob. A lovely Tuesday morning. Look at Salisbury.
You're right, like 99% of the time, Paige.
Today I'm more like 87.
Is it 80% today?
Some days.
Okay. I'm happy to report there's one less chore we have to do this morning, and that is scraping the windshield. We don't have to do that today because we have temperatures beginning in the 40s and 50s, so no frost out there, so that's a nice break for sure. Temperatures out the door are in the 40s, 50 in Milton, 52 in Lewis, 51 in Millsboro, 45 in Ocean Pines, and Del Mar right now you're at 48 degrees. Some of us seeing, well, no wind, but others are seeing a light southwest wind, and those winds will pick up during the course of the day. As we're looking at mostly cloudy skies right now, nothing in the way of precipitation. We have some showers offshore right now. There's actually a warm front pretty much across Delmarva. It's indicated as a trough here, but that will usher in warmer air as we go through the day. You can see all the clouds back to the west. We're starting to see showers and storms erupting across the Midwest. They could be looking at severe weather there today, and that will be our weather tomorrow. Not severe, but we'll be looking at wind and rain. Here's Futurecast this morning. Temperatures quickly rising through the 50s. I think we'll see some sunshine. We'll see some clouds as well by noon into the mid-60s, and that'll be our highs for the day. 66 in Selbyville, 67 in Salisbury, Georgetown 64. A little cooler along the coast. I don't think it's 40s and 50s, a little warmer than that. And then we're looking at showers building into the course of the evening and overnight hours. Maybe some pockets of heavier rain through the overnight and staying windy and mild. 50s and low 60s very early Wednesday morning, and you can see the rain continuing to move through. Here's Wednesday, 8:30, still seeing showers and windy conditions, so make sure those outdoor items are secured. And through your Wednesday, we could see a little lull into the afternoon, but windy and mild. And then here comes the main event, the front, this cold front that will swing through tomorrow evening, maybe some rumbles of thunder, very heavy rain. There's the wind shift as we continue to watch the system moving through. Still kind of rainy around 8:30. Then I think the rain moves offshore by about 10 p.m. And then we see temperatures start to tank with 30s and 40s late Wednesday night with a strong northwest wind. And we'll see those strong southwest winds really kicking in as we go through this evening and tonight, gusting over 30 miles per hour, maybe over 40 miles per hour in some places as we go into Wednesday. So those outdoor items should be secured or brought inside. And then those winds shifting to the north and west and those temperatures dropping into Thursday. As far as rainfall amounts, about a ½ inch to maybe close to an inch in some places. Really depends on your location and the timing of the rain. Your Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 66 today. Wednesday is a first alert day for the rain and heavy winds, 68. And then look at Thursday. Ouch, winter's back. Sunshine, but a high of only 44. 27 Friday morning, 51 Friday, and then warming up into the weekend with some showers Saturday and Sunday. 58 Saturday, 60 on Sunday.
Bob, and for more weather updates, make sure to pull out your phone and scan the QR code for our First Alert Weather app. You can download the app for free to get all the weather updates you need.
Coming up next Monday in Rehoboth Beach, commissioners will be discussing the future of Lake Girard Fishing Pier. Now, they're thinking about building a new pier, and get this, it would be just for kids to enjoy. According to the city, the plan includes a gazebo and extending the pier, all within a budget of $200,000. This idea still in the early stages, but if all goes well, construction may begin in the fall of 2025.
Mulberry Landing boat ramp at Assawoman Wildlife Area near Bethany Beach. It will close on March 6th. This is for upgrades, including enlarging and paving the parking lot that we're showing you on your screen. DNREC says the ramp plans to reopen by April 14th, weather permitting. During construction, DNREC says the wildlife area will remain open with alternative boat launches available at Holtz Landing State Park, Indian River Marina, and Rosedale Boat Ramp.
The Dough Roller restaurant on 70th Street is closing down. Don't worry, you can still enjoy their yummy pizza and pancakes. They have such good pancakes at their other 3 spots in Ocean City. The Gibbs family, who've run Dough Roller for 40 years, say they're excited to welcome everyone at their other locations.
Up next on Coast TV News Today, Jimmy Buffett's music brought his Parrothead fans to their feet for decades, but the music went quiet when Buffett died from a lethal form of skin cancer. We'll show you more about the little-known but extremely aggressive skin cancer that killed an icon.
And we're seeing mild conditions this morning. Bay Health Cam in Dover, your drive, 44 for you. And spring-like weather will really kick in the next couple of days. But then it's back to winter late week and then a weekend warm-up. I'll have the up and down temperatures on your 10-day forecast after the break.
Delmarva Sports Network is on the lookout for a social media promotions producer. Manage our digital scene and craft content that captures the spirit of local sports. Successful candidates have at least 5 years of experience and a passion for sports to produce thrilling videos that engage and inspire. Join our team and make a difference in how sports stories are told. Apply today at DraperMediaJobs.com. Draper Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Get ready to soar with the Hawks. Delmarva Sports Network is your exclusive home for UMES Hawks basketball. From the first whistle to the final buzzer, DSN will take you courtside. Experience the excitement of both the men's and women's teams with every dribble, steal, and three-pointer. To see the schedule or watch the games, go to DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com or download the DSN app. Join us all season long, only on the Delmarva Sports Network, your exclusive home for UMES Hawks basketball.
Middays with me, April Brilliant. It's a feel-good show on your radio.
April is the easiest way to get through your workday.
She can play your favorite song.
She can help you find your furry friend.
The easiest way to get through your workday is with April.
She really makes you feel special.
Hey friends, hang out with me weekdays here on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3 each day from 10 to 3.
Cheers to 50 years of the Players. Here's to the jaw-dropping Eagles, 60-foot birdies,
Better than most.
and that one pesky seagull. Here's to making an entrance, making a statement,
It's not a shot you practice.
and making a splash. All at the PGA Tour's gold standard, the Players' Championship on NBC and Peacock.
Take the DSN app with you wherever you go and never miss a game from your favorite local team. Whether you're on the road, stuck at the office, or out with friends and family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live, so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV, download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Merkel cell carcinoma is a lethal skin cancer connected to the neuroendocrine system through nerve endings in the skin. It frequently spreads into lymph nodes and then the lungs, then the brain.
Yeah, singer Jimmy Buffett recently passed away from this mysterious skin cancer that strikes very few, but is often fatal for those who get it. Marty Salt shows us more about this little known but very aggressive type of cancer.
Fans of singer Jimmy Buffett were stunned last September by his sudden death. It was later revealed Buffett had actually been suffering for 4 years from a rare but aggressive form of skin cancer, Merkel cell carcinoma. It strikes just about 3,000 people a year.
If we see one a month, we would say that would be highly unlikely.
But when the diagnosis is Merkel cell, George Washington University's team takes immediate action.
So we take that because we know that Merkel cell tends to be more aggressive, and we want to make sure we get everything out so they can't spread elsewhere.
Merkel cell carcinoma can be caused by age or a weakened immune system, but is often triggered by sun exposure.
As patients get older and we have a lot more of a sun-worshipping culture, have those years of sun-worshipping, and we know Jimmy Buffett was certainly a sun worshipper, that puts you at higher risk potentially for that.
If caught early, the 5-year survival rate is 75%, but if it spreads, that plunges to 24%. White males are most often stricken, and it has a tendency to return.
What's unusual is that patients can be treated for their Merkel cell and be doing okay, and then a few years later find out that it had spread to multiple different sites they just didn't know.
I'm Marty Salt reporting.
And Dr. Patel reminds people, if you see a spot that you are concerned about, go ahead and get it checked by a dermatologist.
It is now 5:56 this morning. Let's check in with our coastal pet of the day. And look, there she is right there.
Yeah, it's the lovely lady on your screen right now is clearly not a morning person. Willow is enjoying her day in her PJs. Look at those PJs.
That's so cute.
Willow is sent to us by Diana from Millsboro.
That's a great name. I have a cat named Willow.
Oh, do you?
Well, my parents technically, but
Okay.
you know, what's theirs is mine.
I got that.
Yeah, you know. We want to keep seeing more of your pets on Delmarva, so send us some photos and tell us what makes your pet so special.
You can scan the QR code that we're going to show you at the top right-hand corner of your screen right there, and that way you can submit your furry friend to Coast TV News and watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
All right, sounds good. It's 5:57 now. It's time for a quick look at your forecast before you head out your door.
Already, we are feeling these mild conditions in these early morning hours, Bob.
Yes, indeed. You know, and I'm with Willow, too. I'm not really a morning person either, but, you know, I try my best. But it is very mild out the door this morning. We're looking at temperatures into the 40s and then 50s, and then, ooh, here come the 60s, 11 a.m., and we're topping out in the mid-60s, but we'll increase the clouds throughout the day. I think we'll see some showers after about 5 p.m. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. We have a red alert for Wednesday for rain and wind, 68, and then the bottom drops out on Thursday, 44, 51 Friday, and then more showers into the weekend. But notice how temperatures stabilize in the 50s and 60s for the weekend and beyond, and still more showers into next week.